It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather. And because we get hungry from time to time, it's sponsored by Marco's Pizza, which has a great deal of the week. I'll share that with you here in mere moments, but I got to get to the big story. What's the big story? Warmer days are on the way. Oh, that's nonsense, Aldrich. It was in the 20s this morning. I know. It was frosty cold. It was so cold this morning that the frozen face had to return. That was this morning? It was. But if you slept through it, you might have missed it. Did I say 20s? How about upper teens, Aldrich? In Emporia, it was 19 degrees this morning. That's cold. I got to hand it to you. Suffolk, you were at 21. Chesapeake, 21. That's cold. But you can shake it off. I mean, I don't want to sing the Taylor Swift song, but shake it off, my friend, because we're going to say bye-bye to this. We did finish the day 13 degrees warmer this afternoon as compared to yesterday afternoon, because yesterday we got to 41. Today we got to 54, not only in Norfolk, but in Hosky. It was 55 in Suffolk, 54 in Williamsburg. And that 54, by the way, occurred at 2:59 p.m. What time was it 28 this morning? It was actually 7:50. 7:50 this morning, we hit 28 degrees. That's cold, right? But now we're transitioning to a warmer pattern because the release of that sudden stratospheric warming is no longer here. Remember, I had said back on the 1st, if you recall the 1st of December, I said things look really, really cold to me down the road. This was the 1st of December. This was an analysis, not a forecast. On the December 1st time frame, I said give it 30 to 40 days. This is roughly 10 to 11 miles up in the sky. So it's squarely in the middle, roughly the middle of the stratosphere. And it got really warm naturally. And if you zoom in a little bit tighter, it was headed on a trajectory that would take it right to Hampton Roads. Now, if I showed you what's happening now, it's pulling back. So there's good reasons why you're not going to find cold air for much of January. It's not saying it can't get cold, it will. But if you go back to the last day of the year, this was the 31st, it was on the other side of the globe, right? So that was the 31st of December. We go back to this other screen here. This was the 1st of the year. And this is today. This is the 5th of January. So it's really hard, even though it will push some cold air down, it's really hard to think that there's a trajectory to come all the way down to Hampton Roads, right? I think it might have an effect maybe on the Great Lakes, but I just don't think we're going to have the brutally cold air that we've had for so many days around Christmas and maybe even after Christmas. Because, I mean, let's face it, this morning was kind of cold at 21 in Chesapeake. 26 in Hampton, but at least we got up to 54 in Norfolk. Everything's modified. But if you missed it out, or maybe that fear of missing out, I did want to do you a service. A Norfolk review service. The hottest day of the year came in June. I believe it's now 2 years in a row. The hottest day of the year has come in June, not July, not August. But we hit 99. That's interesting note. And on January 23rd, 12 months ago, we hit 17 in the morning. That's a difference or a range of 82 degrees. That was our range. We had an 82 degree range for the 12-month period known as 2025. But if you're interested in how much rain we typically see, and melted snow, because this is a variable, not always do we get snow around here, but when it does, it has to melt, and we typically see about 49 inches. How much did we get? Not much. We only had 42.5. That put us in a deficit of about 6.5 inches. Add the 5 days of January, we're running about 7 inches now. 7 inches now below normal, as we're roughly about a couple of months out from the start of growing season. Last year, for argument's sake, we did have a surplus of about a third of an inch. 49.48, 49.18, 0.3 of an inch of a surplus at the end of 2024. But this year, 2025 is ending on a somewhat dry note, and as a result, that's why we're under level 1 drought monitor. Not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. Not even a coinky dinky. It's because of that, right? If you look at maybe Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hickory, Back Bay, level 1 It's abnormally dry on the eastern shore as well, from Chincoteague to Exmoor, Onancock to Cape Charles, and we have some dryness across the Outer Banks and northeast North Carolina. Is it something we can't overcome? Of course we can. We get some big heavy rainmakers this spring. That'll make up for lost time, but I just wanted to give you the state of the review of Norfolk. By the way, here's the satellite radar from earlier this morning. There were some, I think a few flakes maybe across parts of the eastern Maryland, but that all faded away early. This is where we are now. This is over the last 2 hours. Over the last 2 hours, and we have more clouds that will thin out at times. Think of tomorrow a lot like today, in that we're going to get either partly sunny skies that'll give way to mostly cloudy skies. It's really a mix of both, right? A good blend of clouds and sun tomorrow, but at least we're going to be in the low 60s. That's significantly warmer. I think some of you would love that. That would warm your heart. But you know what would even warm you up even more? When you've got warming weather coming is the deal of the week. Yes, it's Mike's Hot Honey. Oh man, that's sizzling hot. I love it. It's got a little bit of a kick. If you've ever had Mike's Hot Honey on a Marco's pizza, it's fantastic. And because it's got a promo code, WTKR Sunny, you can enjoy it for just $10.99 this week. Our friends at Marco's being generous to offer the Mike's Hot Honey at a discounted rate. Again, this is a medium pizza, but if you haven't tried it, check it out. It's delicious. It's sweet when you bite into it, but then it has a little bit of a peppery taste as it goes down. It's really awesome. If you haven't tried it, Mike's Hot Honey is a real hot item, but on pizza, it's phenomenal. There are 6 locations you can participate. Get the $10.99 Mike's Hot Honey in 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. We're giving away free pizza. Did you say free? I did. This Thursday, we'll give away free pizza. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos. It is really easy. It takes about a minute, no more than that or so to register. Once you register, you have the potential to win, based on a random drawing, the Pizza for a Year certificate. We've given away dozens and dozens of these. We've given away hundreds of pizzas since the start of this experiment known as our live stream since last May. And because we're in January, you'd likely get a certificate. If you win, in January, you could have 12 pizzas. This is one large, one topping pizza every month for a year for a free cost to you. Nothing to cost you. That's awesome. And of course, if you haven't tried the Bozzoli, I recommend that. The Magnifico is a great product. If you haven't tried that, but putting the Mike's Hot Honey on it could really cinch it and really get you excited about Marcos. But by the way, you can sign up at WTKR.com/Marcos. If you're on the call, we'd love to say hi to you. I did get a note. This was worth sharing. This was from Wanda. Is Wanda on here? Wanda has a comment. Wanda says, "Great job. Thanks so much." And when I looked at the date, it was from January 2nd. Now, I did the live stream on January 1st. So this comment, "Great job, thanks so much." I don't know the context, but Wanda, thank you so much for watching it on January 2nd. I'm really excited that you watched it. I'm glad you thought I did a great job. I hope you have a great Happy New Year to you. And I got Kathy Davidson on here. She's laughing her way into the new year because you know laughter is, there's good medicine to that, right? It's good for the soul. To laugh, even at times with an LOL. So I gotta keep moving. I got some notes. I gotta import your comments today. But as we look at the radar, we look at the service map, we can see there's no storm systems within striking distance. We got a low off the coast. I did leave a 10% chance, which isn't much, but a 10% chance we get a shower in here tomorrow. There's more moisture coming up from the south. So if you get a shower, 10% chance there for Ocracoke or Hatteras tomorrow. Maybe it makes it into parts of Cape Fear or Wrightsville Beach. All of those things are possibilities, but I don't expect much. I expect nothing to rain here tomorrow. I expect a dry day, although the clouds will be in and out, as I said, either partly sunny, if not mostly cloudy. So we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow. I'm just checking in with you if you've got some notes. Who is on here? Yeah, I gotta find out the right post so I can import the comments as they've come in. I do believe they're here. Just have to toggle this and check mark this, and then magic presto changeo. Here they are. I think there's a couple in here. There are a few in here. Let's see here. Is that going to click? It did click, and I do have somebody. Taj Brown is on here. This is fresh. Taj is watching live. My friend, Happy New Year, first Taj. Happy belated birthday, which I know you had in December, but I know that you won a free Marco's pizza. Not for the whole year, but you got a free pie. certificate either in your hands now or it's in the mailbox and it's on its way. So glad to have you here. He says, hello, I got Kim Thompson-Jones wishing every First Warning Live friend a greeting. Hello to you all, and thank you all for being here. So I'm going to keep going. Appreciate everyone's time. It is now 7:49. What we see is a little bit of rain off the coast of Myrtle Beach, off the coast of Hatteras, off the coast of Ocracoke, but really it should stay, for the most part, out to sea. Now the rain chances, because of that spot of rain, I left 10% tomorrow. Wednesday, I've got nothing. We should become mostly sunny. That's a good day. Wednesday's even going to be warmer than tomorrow. So I think this is a winner. Thursday, I think we will pull back a little bit, 58 degrees. So we won't be in the 60s, but 58 still warmer than today. So let's look at the glass half full. But then Friday, we'll put a ding, ding, ding. We'll put a big old star in there because you know why? We will see about high of 68 in the shade. Many of you will get in the low 70s. On Friday? Yeah, Friday. I didn't hear that. Nobody told me. Well, I'm telling you that, right? Friday, I even said that last Friday on the TV side. I didn't live stream last Friday, but I said, look, I know we got a little bit of this, a little bit of snow, a little sleet, a little bit of rain on Saturday, but then I mentioned that for next Friday we're going to be in the upper 60s, and that's all people were focused on. I think that's the warm day. We're going to be really warm. But then we have a front that's coming in that we're tracking on Saturday, so there's a chance. What you're saying is there's a chance. There's a chance we get some rain on Saturday. I left it at 30%. What in the world does that look like? It looks like this. Funny that you should ask. The warm front should be up north of South Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and into Northern Virginia by about 9 o'clock on Friday. So we're in what we like to call the warm sector, right? We're going to be in the upper 60s, low 70s by day, but by 9 o'clock at night, we're cooling, but not dramatically so. Friday night, our low temperature may not dip below 54. I mean, that's remarkable, but we're in the warm sector. Now we bring it to 8 o'clock. You say, Aldrich, I got plans on Saturday. Lay it on me. What's the damage? There's no damage here. Maybe a few showers. Got a 30% chance that we get some showers on Saturday. Now, it's 8 o'clock. Let's take it to noon. We're filling in a few spots. It looks like it's a little darker green down here across southeastern North Carolina. Maybe some hit or miss sprinkles in the 757. But by noontime, about a 30% chance. And then I take you to 4 o'clock and it's drying up. And that's it. Most of the rain on Saturday is going to spread like a spaghetti noodle across Roanoke, East Tennessee, the Tri-Cities, Asheville, possibly up toward Harrisonburg, all the way up to D.C. Right? So that's where the bulk of the rain appears at this stage to be for Saturday. Now, Saturday night, different story. Front comes in, stop the clock. What time is this? This is in the pre-dawn hours of Sunday. We got some morning rain. But guess what? By the time the sun's up, a lot of it's vacating the premises. It's been evicted, right? It's gone. Bye-bye. No more rain on Sunday. So Sunday, the showers will come likely very early. So let me get through the headlines as we're looking at a live look of downtown Norfolk. And not as cold tonight. Not as cold tonight. Lows in the upper 30s to near 40. That's a real bonus given the fact that we were in the 20s just a few hours ago. That's a big bonus. Warming trend, slim chances for rain this week, and the weekend outlook, we've already tracked some rain and a cold front. We'll look at it again in case you happen to join us late to the party. I don't want you to be late to the party, but we will cover all that at the end as well. So let me give you the temperatures right now. It's 7:53. We're currently, at the moment, 46. By the way, just for those who like to be in the know, Norfolk's temperature is back. It was down for like a couple of days. Wakefield is back, and so is Richmond. Richmond is back. They were all down for what they call maintenance from the FAA. That's the Federal Aviation Administration, because either they have to do software updates or whatever. It was down. People were like annoyed, like, what'd you do to my Norfolk temperature? I didn't do anything with it. It's now better. It's better and improved, right? Better than ever. But 46 temperature today. We were still getting the highs and lows from the Weather Service while it was being maintained, but the maintenance is now done, so that's why we now have numbers to supply you on the screen in Wakefield, Richmond, and Norfolk, although I don't have Richmond featured here. Elizabeth City, you're currently at 44, 41 in Manio, 46 Cape Charles, Melfa, Wallops at 44. But look at this. Oh my goodness, this makes me think of the Mike's Hot Honey Pizza. It's on fire. We're plus 18 in Suffolk. How are you surviving? Well, you're doing just fine. Newport News, you're plus 18. You are hotter now, even at 7, 8 o'clock, than you were this time last night. So that's kind of remarkable. Virginia Beach plus 15, Norfolk's plus 12. So yeah, we're already seeing what we call warm air advection. Already beginning to see that roll into town. Jimmy is here to confirm what I just showed you on the screen. Yeah, not as cold. I think Jimmy likes it. Jimmy, thank you for sharing that picture with us, because I'll tell you what's really cool is that when the closer up you are, the bigger your picture, whatever picture you supply Facebook, I love to be able to circle, just to acknowledge and recognize you as someone who leaves a comment. So thank you, Jimmy, for being here. And hopefully we can get you more weather information here in the next few minutes that you might not have heard elsewhere. And maybe this is your format, right? This is the way. Like if someone hands me a Tom Cruise movie, it says, hey, here's a Tom Cruise movie. It's on VHS. I'm like, I'm not watching that. It's on VHS. You give it to me and somebody streaming, I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the format, I want the content, but I don't necessarily like the format. Hopefully, if this format is agreeable to you, you'll leave us a comment. Let me know if you like it, because we'll keep doing it. Otherwise, we might find and try and reinvent something new. But I will tell you this, we're plus 14 right now in Gloucester. Speaking of which, Gloucester, I expect your low tonight to be 39, 45 in Duck, 40 in Elizabeth City. Those are my expected lows tonight. Chesapeake, you're not going to be 21 in Chesapeake tomorrow morning. No, you'll be around 39. That's pretty sweet. I mean, it's chilly, but the normal low this time of year is 28. Normal low this time of year is 28. So we're going to be about 11 degrees above normal, even in the morning. Norfolk, about 40. Matthews, Melfa, 39. About 45 for Nags Head. I'd say that's a winner. Winner. Pizza dinner. Tuesday's planner, 54. That was where we were today. I expect we'll be there at noon. Noon. We're going to surpass what we hit today as early as midday tomorrow. Should finish in the low 60s, and 61 might be low compared to where you are in your neighborhood. You might get to 62, maybe 63. Wouldn't that be sweet? Well, winds are going to be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 plus. And as I mentioned, expect partly sunny skies. That's more clouds than sun, and then maybe mostly cloudy to finish, right? It's not the prettiest of days, but it is a day. And every day is a gift. Normal high is 51 this time of year. Now you've done it, Aldrich. You let the cat out of the bag. Everyone's going to see these numbers, and they're going to think winter is done. Maybe. I think we still have maybe another little cold push here and there, and I'll show you when those days are likely to occur. But I've told you since Halloween, even before Halloween, I said we're going to probably have a front-end loaded winter where we would get some snow in November. We had some in the pre-dawn hours of Veterans Day. I said we get some snow in November, December. We had some on December 8th. And then by the time we get to Dr. King Day, which happens to be the 19th of January, that's going to be a turning point. I think that's going to be where we're turning a corner and going to a more milder winter, less harsh, maybe more rain, and maybe an occasional mix. But I think the worst of winter in terms of I want snow, it's going to be harder to produce once we get on the other side of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's what I'm still sticking with. If you watch these live streams, I'm pretty consistent. You might not like the length of these things, but at least he's consistent. And our high temperature on Friday should be the warmest day of the group. I have us at 68, but if you hit 72 on this day, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, I like 72. I bet you do. I think some of us after this winter so far are probably ready for a break, but it will come back. Some of the cold air at times may have another little leg or two to come back. How strong? Let's do some weather trivia. Time now here at 7:58 to do some weather trivia. I'd like to see how many people are actively watching this live stream. I give props to meteorologist Tony Nargi from the WTKR News 3 First Warning Weather Team. He came up with how strong do winds have to be to meet blizzard conditions. Now, I'm not talking about Dairy Queen. I know those conditions are ice creamy. I'm talking about, is it A, 25 plus miles an hour, 30 plus miles an hour, or C, 35 miles per hour? Here's your chance to show off your knowledge, your skill set, and if you've been paying attention, maybe you watched the noon show, you might have an interesting opportunity. But let's see here. Taj Brown is saying he forgot. You didn't forget you won a large one-topping pizza. If you did, don't throw it away when it shows up in the mail. It's coming to your house, my friend. Very happy that you won last week. Who do we have in here? I got Taj on here. I got Kim Thompson-Jones. She's wishing everybody a good evening. And I believe Taj, hi there, Kim. I believe Taj has the first guess. He is guessing A. How strong, now this might surprise you, How strong do the winds have to be to meet blizzard conditions? And we're basing this on the National Weather Service definition, right? The answer is, in fact, not A, 25 plus. It's actually C, 35 plus. Now, what's really hard to do is to keep the visibility below a quarter mile for 3 hours in a row. But typically, if they have winds, and they could be gusting for about that as well, they would classify it as a blizzard warning, or we're having a blizzard, but usually it's 35 plus with poor visibility. That's a lot of blowing and drifting. But thankfully, you and I don't live in Duluth, which is where Tony had worked prior to working here. He's originally from Massachusetts, in the Boston area, but he did want to bring our attention, which I love. The fact people love to learn. They just hate to be taught. We love to learn trivia, and the blizzard conditions, typically 35 plus, visibility about a quarter mile or less. Now, we've talked about the sudden stratospheric warming event. I showed you this. It does show a little bit of red on that map. That is actually based on today's map, which, how do I interpret this? I interpret this as that in about 30 days from now, there'll be another surge of cold air likely across the Great Lakes and maybe New England. Will it make it as far south as Hampton Roads? I doubt it. I'm not saying it couldn't, but there's a lot of wiggle room here. And I think in 30 days from now, you're looking at this would be representative of February 5th, right? February 5th, because that's 30 days from now, roughly. So it does come out like clockwork, as they say, but 30 to 40 days is usually how long it'll take for that to transpire. And if that's the case, I can tell you this, if that's the case, there can be some displacement. If you get a sudden stratospheric warming event, like we're seeing there in red, it could push some of that down toward the Great Lakes, possibly into Maine and New England. I just don't see this go around to be as pronounced in Hampton Roads as what we just came out of. Here's another great example. Look at the upper air pattern. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or even an atmospheric scientist to figure out, hey, it looks pretty warm by Friday. Didn't I tell you we're going to be in the low 70s, upper 60s? This would do it. This would do it. But I don't want you to think that's permanent. It's not. It's not permanent. It is actually going to be temporary. So keep this in mind. If I advance the clock, move this a little bit further down the road, you see what I mean? See what I mean? Now, this isn't obviously February 5th yet, but there is still indication that we could get a little more cold air in the northeast, and that would drop our temperature, modified as it may be. It won't be as cold as what we just came out of at the end of 2025. But it has the potential next Sunday. I have a high of Sunday at 52 and Monday 47. So yeah, it's going to get back to the chill, but maybe not. And I didn't mean to keep doing the A answer there, but that's what I expect we're going to find is a little bit more balanced temperatures heading into early next week, because then this too will modify. And so it goes. You can see some of that cold air in Louisville, Kentucky. It just doesn't look as cold as maybe some of the purple or the blue at the top of the screen. So this will come and go. This will ebb and flow, but we'll keep watching the cold air, and I'll keep you apprised accordingly, because this is, after all, first warning weather. So we're trying our best to get you informed so you know what to expect, and that's why we do this. All right, so I want to show you this. We're move on. Let me show you this. This was the way we ended last year. Hard to say last year, but it was just last month. We finished negative 4.6. So if I can put this on the screen, 4.6 degrees below average, right? Why be average? Why be normal? I mean, that's a lot. When you factor in all the highs, all the lows, divide by 31, to be negative 4 or even negative 4.5 degrees below normal, it's pretty cold. I will say again, I don't think this month of January is going to have that signature. We've had 4 cold days to start. Today was the very first warm day, warmer than normal, of the whole year in this very early 5-day-year-old month, right? But we're going to see a string of warm days. It's going to be red square, red square, red square. We're suddenly going to warm things up. And by the end of January, I just don't think we're going to be anywhere, not even close to negative 4.6. We might be positive, plus something 1 or 2 degrees warmer than average. We'll see. But there's a lot that can happen between now and then. I got some other notes here. Kim Thompson-Jones, if you picked it, she said C. Or maybe she changed her. No, Taj said A. Kim said C. So Kim got that one right. Ding, 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 ding. Glad to have you here. Glad that all worked out for you. Yes, indeedy. Let's see. We've got some other folks on here. I think Taj was looking for trying to tag our friends Marilyn and Lynn. So if you're on here, give Taj a shout out, because he's interested in having a conversation with you all as well. But here we go at 8:04. we hit 54 degrees. The record high from 2004 was 76 degrees. We were nowhere close to that. Now that we're into the new year, you might have a New Year's resolution. I'd love to hear it. Sign on. Let me know in the comments section what New Year's resolution you've had and now you've abandoned. I'm okay with that. That happens all the time in most people's lives, right? These resolutions don't last forever, but if you have something that you are aiming to do in 2026, love to hear it. My recommendation is this year, make sure you download the free First Warning Weather app, right? Have a NOAA weather radio that's battery operated so you have backup, because sometimes our phones, they lose charge. It's just what happens. But once we get into severe weather season later this spring, I think it would be very helpful to have multiple sources of information. Boy, oh boy, what's happening in San Francisco? That's over 2 hours of a delay. Am I seeing that right? That seems pretty cold to me. Delays, that's a lot of delays for me. There must be some weather. Do you think there's weather going on here? Well, we can look under the hood. Well, let's do that. Oh, yes, there's some weather there. Maybe it's weather related. Sometimes I like to show this because if you're in the military, you're homesick, you're wondering what's going on back home. I can tell you if we start on the East Coast, there's apparently some snow going through parts of New England, Vermont, New Hampshire is dealing with some snow at this hour. Not much to see in Hampton Roads. I mentioned some showers off the coast of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. But if we move back to the west, you can see a couple of showers across southern Minnesota. But where they're having some real problems appears to be an onslaught of some heavy rain around San Jose, Santa Cruz, and up towards San Francisco, where this storm system is causing some airline delays to the order of more than 2 hours. So that's kind of what's happening there at this time. By the way, it's 8:06, our current temperature. As of 8 o'clock, 47 Virginia Beach, 46 Norfolk, Chesapeake, 50 in Newport News, and 47 in Smithfield, Rushmere, about 50 in Surrey, 47 Franklin, 42 Manteo, already 39, however, in Windsor, in Bertie County, but 44 in Edenton. Again, clouds could play a role on how quickly or not quickly we cool tonight into the 30s and near 40. But if there's a canary in the coal mine, look at Knoxville, 53 degrees. That's warm, right? 47 in Virginia Beach, 38 in D.C. I'm kind of curious, how warm do you think some of these locations got today? That's a fair question to ask, but we can always look. I think we can always double check and see if we can give you the answer. I do know Knoxville hit 64 today. Is that amazing? 64. Now, I think we have a good chance of getting the low 60s. Maybe we don't reach 64, but that's all headed in this direction. And they're already at 63 in Hatteras. So there are indications that we will get warmer. And if you're really looking for the cold air, you have to find it still bottled up to the far north into Canada. These numbers, as cold as 10 and 5 would be, these were like negative 13 and negative 11 last week. Sure, there's a negative 11 at Fort Severn there, but even Lake Lynn, I think it was negative 23. So even their cold air has somewhat retreated, but it will try and make another run, I'm sure, closer to the 5th of February up there, not necessarily down here in Hampton Roads and Northeast North Carolina. You can see the cold air trying to come down the Tennessee Valley there by the 11th, and it gets modified a little bit. The white areas are really the Arctic cold, and that's going to affect the areas north of Chicago probably by the 15th. So by the 15th of January, middle of the month, there's going to be a surge of cold air, but maybe everything is relative to where we were these last few weeks. By the way, it is now 8:08. Temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is the 6 to 10 day. This would take you in through the 11th and 15th. Notice it's very warm relative to normal across the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Montana. We're kind of in this near normal, whatever that is, YB normal. That's where we're kind of slated to be, and below normal temperatures for South Texas and along the Gulf. Now, what about the 19th of January? This is the 8 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. They use a lot of the supercomputers that come to their resolution, but above normal temperatures are above, but not as red as they were in the last map. There's probably more warmth for Southern California, but a big swath of the country is near normal heading into the middle part of January. If you're on the call, we'd love to say hi. Taj is saying hello. He says, I missed that. Well, that's what we're here to cover. Let's see here. Maybe I'm not on that subject. He might be on something totally different. He's on a smoothie cleanse. So, yeah, I've totally walked in on a conversation I probably shouldn't have listened to. But either way, I am happy you guys are here as I smile. Onancock 54 tomorrow, Biloxi 55, and 54 at Exmoor and Cape Charles. Glad to have you here. His smoothie cleanse may have been his New Year's resolution. If that's his case, I wish you all the success to it, everybody's resolution in 2026. Getting back to the Eastern Shore, did I mention Kill Devil Hills? Let's mention Kill Devil Hills. They'll be about 58 tomorrow. Nags Head, Manio, Wanchese about 57 in Roanoke Island, 55 for Duck, 62, well, they'll be in the low 60s, I think, pretty easily in Ocracoke and Hatteras tomorrow, about 58 for Rodanthe, about a 10% chance of rain in Rodanthe. Storm Prediction Center usually will highlight for our benefit any areas that might have a severe thunderstorm risk. Right now, I don't see any color whatsoever for tonight or right through tomorrow morning. Tuesday is colorless as well, and no coloring here on the Wednesday map. So we put the colored pencils away, don't have any severe weather to concern ourselves with. So let's wrap things up here with the graph model. I'll show you the futurecast. Notice we've got a southerly wind here. This is a southwest wind as indicated by this direction of the triangle, the caret. It's pointing up from the southwest because in meteorology we focus on where the winds are coming from. Engineers look at where things are coming to, but we're pointing to where it's from. It's a southwest wind at 5, first thing tomorrow morning. And yes, there's potential for hazy sun in here, but you tell me, does it get cloudier? Does it get murkier as we head on? Because most of the clouds tomorrow will live between 25 and 35,000 feet. Now, those are more like high clouds than mid to high level clouds, but kind of like today, we saw some sun, but we also had clouds. Same exact type of play out for tomorrow. 7 a.m. looks like this. 10 a.m., maybe a sprinkle or whatever off the coast of the Outer Banks. That's 10 a.m. Well, let's stop it at noon here. Let's get you to noon. Yeah, noon, there's a sprinkle. You can see a little bit better without me in it. But there's a little bit of moisture. That's why I left a 10% chance of rain for the Outer Banks. But this is probably a mostly cloudy, if not partly sunny sky right at the start of the afternoon. So 12 noon looks partly sunny, looks like mostly cloudy at 4. More clouds at 4. And even at that time frame, I still think we have a great shot at getting into the lower 60s, as I indicated with the planner just a few moments ago. Meanwhile, as we look at 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night, some of those clouds want to thin out, or at least try to. They may still hold on at 7 a.m. Wednesday, and you might think, wait a minute, I thought you said Wednesday was going to be mostly sunny. It will be if you give it a few more hours. Because by the time you hit 9, 10, 11, and even in this case 12, you've got a mostly sunny sky across the 757 and northeast North Carolina. So anyway, that's where the expectation is on Wednesday. Wednesday will be slightly warmer than it will be on Tuesday, probably by 2 degrees. But even still, 4 o'clock on Wednesday looks mostly sunny. So we've shown you this before. Warm front snakes across parts of South Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. We are on the warm sector through midday on Saturday. Saturday's going to be a warm day, temperature about 67. But then once we move into the pre-dawn hours of Sunday, we're suddenly going to see the front move away, and we'll see more sunshine for most of Sunday afternoon. Tuesday morning, though, we're in the upper 30s for the peninsulas, 41 North Carolina, 40 south side. And then lows in Wakefield, about 38, 38 Ahoskie, Edenton 41, our friends in Duck, as well as Currituck, about 45 degrees, 42 for Virginia Beach, about 40 for Norfolk, and Matthews, about 39 degrees. Newport News, about 40. By tomorrow afternoon, if we're in the lower 60s, low to mid 60s for North Carolina, don't be surprised. But because of maybe a sea breeze, a little easy temperature, about 55 for the Eastern Shore. I've got 54 for Cape Charles, 59 Gloucester, 60 for Virginia Beach, and 63 for Chesapeake, Moyock, 64 for Hertford. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast, 63 on Wednesday. A pullback on Thursday in terms of temperature, but I left a 10% chance of rain on Thursday. And then Friday, warm and breezy, warmer and breezy, temperature about 68. Also, a spot of rain possible here. That's where I've left the 20% chance, but maybe the better chance would be on Saturday itself at 30%. And then some morning showers leaving pretty early in the AM hours. So that should not be an issue after that as I try and clear off the telestrator. And then cooler sunshine. So if you think the 68's a new normal, just go ahead and look at Monday, right? Monday we're back to starting at freezing and we'll finish the day likely at 47 degrees. Got some great happy shots, and for weather nerds like me, you gotta love a halo. You gotta love a sun halo. This is from Mount Trashmore from Don. Don, thank you for sharing this picture with us. We have a Facebook group that's called WTKR Photographers. It's about 7,000 people strong. Not everybody posts a picture, but there are a lot of people in there that like to lurk. They like to watch. They like to see, ooh, what's so-and-so posting? Oh, I approve of that. Okay, so maybe you like this sun halo, right? Maybe you like the halo from Don. Don's not the only one posting a picture today. I got one from Charles. Charles has a great picture as we round out the live stream here. Newport News sunrise this morning. Looked beautiful. Love it. So Charles, thank you for sharing that beautiful picture with us. And one from Buckrow Beach. This is the Buckrow Beach sunrise this morning from our friend Bradley Fullwood with the birds in flight. Love it. Thank you so much, Bradley and Charles and Don, for sharing us those great photographs. And again, clouds might be on the increase in your neighborhood, at least for tonight. I do think we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight, but the big headline is it's just not as cold. It's just not as cold, not by a long stretch. We're not in the 20s, upper 20s, low 20s. We're going to be in the 30s to near 40 by morning. That's the real change that's coming. So we're warming up tomorrow about 61, 63 on Wednesday. That's the way things are shaping up. And hopefully by this time tomorrow, if you haven't experienced the warmth, you'll have a chance to do so. By the way, if you haven't tried the Mike's Hot Honey Pizza and haven't had a medium, oh my goodness, try it. $10.99, it's a real steal. With that price, WTKR Sunny is the promo code you would use. You don't need to clip a coupon, and you can share this, you can screenshot it, but the keywords are at the participating contest stores only. So there are 6 stores where you can get a Mike's Hot Honey Pepperoni Pizza for $10.99, and they're on your screen right now. 2 in Chesapeake, that would be Kempsville Road and South Battlefield Boulevard. 3 in Virginia Beach and 1 in Norfolk. Those are the 6 locations, and we're also trying to do our best to give away some free pizza because Marco's believes that free pizza would be a nice treat to have in your area, especially after the holidays. Maybe you're tired of turkey and all the trimmings and all the rest. Oh, did I even mention they also have this great thing. They have the Pizzoli. We're giving away the pizza for a year certificate, which will be 1 large, 1 topping pizza every month for a year. If you win that, that's sweet. It's an awesome thing. Check it out. But I think you'll be impressed. And if I mentioned to you, they have the Pizzoli, which is like a calzone or a stromboli on the left. Make sure you pair it with a great dipping sauce like ranch, marinara, or a pizza cup, or the garlic sauce. That's my favorite. You could check out the pepperoni sausage, my personal favorite, or the pepperoni magnifico. But they also have these great subs. People don't think about Marco's and subs, but they got steak and cheese. They got the chicken club. They've got meatball subs. And you can also check that at marcos.com. Or if you want a dessert, the Cinesquares I have tried. They're delicious. I have yet to try the chocolate Cinesquares. I might have to indulge sometime this week. So that's it in a nutshell. Make sure you download. Make sure you make note of the promo code WTKR. Those are our TV call letters and the word Sunny to enjoy a medium pizza for $10.99 with the Mike's Hot Honey. All right, just again, want to thank you so much for your time. It is now 8:17. We'll be back here tomorrow night, and we'll talk about more about the warmth and any other resolutions that you might have that you're hoping in terms of weather, winter weather, and spring weather that will likely follow. In the meantime, don't forget, doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. Doesn't matter even if it isn't as cold as it was just yesterday or this morning. Hang in there. Just know that every day's a gift. Every day's a gift, and make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.